Hello everyone, today let's talk about knives, more specifically the Gerber Fastball, a knife that just recently came out and is going to be going back here shortly. I wouldn't consider myself an avid knife collector or one that knows the most about available steels and such, but over the last couple years, like any other person in the quest to find the best EDC knife, I have bought a few, sold a few, received some as gifts, and lost them. And when you lose them, sometimes you go out and try to find the next best thing. So for the last 2 years or so, I've been carrying the Kershaw Leek knife. I really like that knife. I don't know if I would call it my favorite knife, but it's the knife I found myself carrying the most, if that makes sense. For 60 bucks, it's an easy opening knife. It's sharp. You can put an edge on it pretty easily. It's just a good all-around knife. And it's small. It fits in the pocket really well. I'm left-handed, so I flopped the belt clip for it, and that worked well until I lost it. So I lost that about a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, whatever, and that started the whole search over again. And I do have some other knives, but technology has evolved and the knives are getting better and better. So that knife missing in action, I started looking at like Spyderco and Benchmade. I did look at the Benchmade Bug Out, which I really considered purchasing. I think it's around 120, 130 bucks. But I didn't know if I really wanted to spend that much on a knife because sometimes I lose them. Quad riding, fishing, hunting, they get dropped or you forget about them. Somebody borrows them, and I try to keep the knife price around 100 bucks or less. So, and I do prefer like USA made knives. I do have some that aren't, but I do like a USA made knife. So that started my search when I lost the knife, and I heard about this Gerber Fastball, and I was like, maybe I'll pick that up. So SV30 steel, a sharp edge, holds a sharp edge, comes pretty sharp actually. Lightweight, it's 99 bucks. I've owned a few Gerbers in the past. I've had okay luck with them, more when I was younger. And it looks like they're trying to get into this market with new knives and trying to compete with some of the higher price knives. You haven't really seen that much from Gerber in a while. From their older series knives, the Bear Grylls edition stuff. It's all changed. I got this knife, picked it up, and in comparison to all the others, I mean, it's a good size. It's light. It feels good in the hand. Everything was like great with it until the first thing I noticed was the centering is way off. The centering is like basically hugging this left side. Most of the other knives that I have that I've had good luck with have been the Kershaw. I think this is the Blur, and I have two versions of the Blur, but I mean, really easy opening. I know that some of these are assisted. This is an old Gerber here that works pretty well. It's pretty beat up. This is another old Gerber, Kershaw, outdoor edge. Couple little everyday carry knives that just you kind of sneak in your bag or sneak in your pocket. I do like these little Leathermans. I carry those around. My wife got me a couple knives, Gerber. I find myself sometimes carrying this Milwaukee razor knife because it's like quick opening and really easy to use. The fast backs, I guess is what they're called. And then for my wedding, as gifts for my groomsmen, I got the, I forget what model Kershaw this is, but this has the nice assisted opening. It's just really easy. I like this knife a lot, but it is heavier. So sometimes I don't like to carry that in my pocket. This knife, I think I like everything about it except for the opening. So the detent on this one, I'm putting a mark in my finger just trying to pop it open. There's something definitely wrong with this knife. And that's why it's primarily going back. I also noticed the grind on this side of the knife. It's really shallow right here in the middle, and like the belly, I would call it, I guess, of the knife. And it's a lot more even on the other side. So I think they definitely have some QC issues going on, and they need to look at them. I mean, it's a great knife. I mean, everything else seems to be good. There's no play at all in the blade. It's really solid locking. This middle here is like I think it's like a plastic, probably some type of polymer material. But I mean, it's really light, feels good. It's very comparable, I think, to the Leek. And that's why I wanted to pick it up. But I can't get over the detent. Like, if you flick it, like, I'm putting a ton of pressure. And I did see a couple videos. I know what actually sparked this was Wrangler Star did a video on this knife, and I'm watching him use it, and it's just sliding right open, sliding right open. And I know with the detent, when you close it, you'll have a little bit of pressure here till that detent clicks, and then it'll go in pretty easily. But the way it locks, and I don't know if that's because of the centering, which is basically hugging this left side, but it's you hear the pop, and I'm pushing now with the side of my hand because that's how hard I have to push it. So I either have to maybe sand this down a little bit because it is sharp, but to me that's just overkill. So I think there's other people that have had some issues with this. This one's going to go back. I'm going to get another one and see what the quality control's like, and see if I get a different knife that works better, because I do think I would switch this for the Leek, or switch this out with the Leek as an everyday carry knife. I typically try to carry something light, medium duty. In my bag, I typically, if I'm outdoors hunting, I'll have, a knife in my bag, a knife on me, and, maybe an extra one. Sometimes I'll carry this buck knife or this SE3, which I really like this SE3 a lot as far as carrying it in the bag. But on me, I pretty much go for the light, medium duty folders for the most part. And sometimes I'll have a multi-tool on me, I guess, as well. But this is disappointing. Gerber was popular back in the day, a lot more popular, I think, when I was younger. And then I think they kind of got a bad reputation. And they got a little bit cheaper. And then they tried to come back out now, and I was really excited about this just because it's USA made. It's a Gerber. You mention it, people know about it. But unfortunately, I have to send this one back. I would be curious to see what you guys, if anybody has this, what their experience was or is. And then, let me know if there's something else I should look up. I was really considering the Benchmade bug out, and that might be a choice, but I really like the design of this. I like the look of it. The blade is a little bit thicker on the point. It has a good point to it. I don't know how good it will be for, like, slicing and dicing, because there's definitely some blades that are thinner. But I think, the steel, I think I can put an edge on it. And I could resharpen this and make it and fix it. But you shouldn't have to fix something you spend $100 on that you just get. And I've opened this and closed this a bunch of times, thought it would loosen up, and it's just, to me, it's just too heavy. So we'll get another one, and hopefully it's a little bit better off, and if not, I might go back to the Leek. I appreciate everybody for joining. Hope to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks a lot. Take it easy.